Has your child's teacher ever taught them something completely wrong? I was exhausted and just wanted to pick my son up from school, but as he climbed into the back seat, he started moaning that he had a really bad headache. Okay, honey, I'll get you some water when we're home. But later, when I handed him the bottle, he says, "No, Mom, I just need the red M&Ms. They'll make me feel better." I actually laughed, realizing he was probably faking because I had just bought a bag of M&Ms from the store that morning, and he definitely saw them in the trunk in the car. "No, Mom, I swear. Mr. Janik said the red M&Ms make headaches go away." I said, "Nice try, but you can have some if you eat all your veggies tonight." We sat on the couch and both drank some water, but I was so exhausted I couldn't keep my eyes open. I tried, but the next thing I knew, I was waking up to the sound of him groaning. It sounded like he was in a lot of pain. I shot up and looked at him, and he realized I was awake. "Mom, the pain is getting really bad. Why aren't they helping?" I didn't understand what he meant. I asked him what he was talking about, and he just kept crying, saying the M&Ms weren't working. Did this little brat eat the whole bag? But he looked pale, so I told him, "Okay, let's get in the car. Let me grab you some painkillers." I ran into our kitchen and saw a stool in front of the fridge. I was too worried to think anything of it, but when I flung open that cabinet to grab some Tylenol, it was empty. I shook the bottles and nothing came out, but then it hit me. The red M&Ms. I ran back into the living room screaming his name. "Dominic, did you eat these? Did you eat the whole bottle?" He was crying harder now, saying he just wanted his headache to stop. I looked at his face and his pupils were massive. Oh my god, I didn't even think. I picked him up and ran toward the front door without shoes and threw him into the back seat. I was driving to the ER in my socks, having no idea what 50 Tylenol can do to an 8-year-old, but I knew I couldn't waste a single second. I was running every yellow light, honking at people to move, and the whole time I kept looking back at Dom in the rearview mirror. I had one hand on the wheel and one hand reaching back, rubbing his arm, telling him to stay with me, and then it happened. We were stopped at a red light and he started shaking. At first I thought he was just shivering, but then it got faster and faster. His whole body started shaking, and it all hit me that he was having a seizure. I screamed his name. I hit 3 curbs pulling into the hospital parking lot, not even turning the car off. I ran toward those automatic doors holding my son, and when they slid open, every single person in that waiting room turned and looked. Dom was moaning, barely conscious, and there was foam starting to form around his mouth. I heard a woman say, "Oh my god, that kid has rabies." I ignored all of them. I ran straight past the check-in desk toward the back yelling for help. "Help! Somebody help my son!" Nurses came rushing out, and before I knew it, they had him on a stretcher and were wheeling him down the hallway. I tried to follow, but someone grabbed me. They told me I couldn't go back there. They said he was getting his stomach pumped, and they were giving him activated charcoal and some heavy medications to counteract the overdose. I stood there in the hallway, still in my socks, and it felt like the ground was falling out from under me. They guided me to the waiting room, and I just sat there furious. Everyone was still staring at me, and that's when I remembered what Dom said in the car. The red M&Ms, he said his teacher told him that. My husband showed up about 20 minutes later freaking out, but I told him to stay there and wait for news, because I had to go take care of something. He tried to ask where I was going, but I was already walking out the door. I wasn't waiting another second. I hopped back into my dented car and soon walked into his school still just in my socks. Mr. Janik was sitting at his
Click the link in my profile to watch the exciting follow-up.